You'll learn phrases such as crooked cops, red-handed, ETA, and many more. Today's video is special because it's the first installment of a series on English slang. We will focus on the subject of police and law enforcement. In this series, we'll cover some instrumental English nuances, phrases, jargon, and much more. Let's get started. To be in the clear means you're free from suspicion or no longer being investigated. Nowadays, people use it often to mean you've narrowly escaped something, figuratively or literally. In movies, when the characters are running from the enemy and have escaped danger, they often say, "I think we're in the clear now." To be off the hook means you're free from punishment. You're either no longer a suspect or your crime has been forgiven and you don't have to receive punishment. This applies to the real world too. If you made a mistake at work, but your boss tells you it's not a big deal, you can tell your coworkers, "I guess I'm off the hook." An alibi is mainly used in law enforcement, but every now and then you may hear this come up in casual conversation. It refers to someone having evidence that they were in a different location at the time a crime was committed, proving they couldn't have done it. In casual settings, an alibi is simply an excuse. For example, I don't want to go to the party. I'll make up an alibi that I have important plans that day. When law enforcement decides to start enforcing stricter rules, they often declare they are cracking down on something. There have been too many thefts at the local mall, so we are cracking down on security to catch thieves in the act. Students are skipping class too much. The administration is cracking down on attendance. Detectives often perform a stakeout in dramas. This is when they're usually in a car outside a building of a suspect's home or place of business. They wait and watch to catch the suspect in the act. If someone uses this in a casual conversation, it is likely for fun. Maggie's friends were planning a surprise birthday party. Sarah was staking out Maggie's driveway to make sure Maggie didn't show up before all their preparations were done. In the US, we have come up with many different terms to refer to the police in conversation. You may hear someone call them the popo, the fuzz, the heat, or the 5-0. All of these slang terms are passed down through pop culture. So they might stick around, but they may eventually be replaced with newer terms. Oftentimes, the police are simply called cops. An older term for a single police officer is constable. And some position-specific terms are detective, trooper, patrolman, and sergeant. When a police officer is labeled as bad, like he's using his position to commit crimes, we call them crooked cops. This phrase has nice alliteration to it. Alliteration is a literary device that refers to a phrase where the first letter or sound of a word matches the next word in sequence. So it rolls off the tongue nicely. Now I've happened upon another popular phrase, rolls off the tongue. We use this phrase in daily conversation to indicate something has a nice ring to it, or is fun and easy to say, like crooked cops. He's a crooked cop. The alliteration of this phrase has led to it being a popular phrase in many TV dramas. Another popular phrase you'll hear is catching someone red-handed.
This man that hungry. Bruh. Really?
This means someone catches another in the process of doing something wrong or illegal. It was likely first used by law enforcement, but now English speakers use it all the time in daily conversation. When someone catches another doing something they probably shouldn't be doing. When we say someone is doing time, we're referring to them being locked up in jail or prison, and they are serving their sentence, often months or years long. Sometimes you'll hear an officer or someone speaking on a walkie-talkie say 10-4. This refers back to an old standardized code system implemented by Public Safety Communications in the 1930s. It simply means okay or understood. Another thing I just mentioned was a walkie-talkie. It's a funny name for the old handheld radio communicators before cell phones were commercially available. They're still used today, but mostly by the government, particularly police officers. ETA is an acronym that stands for Estimated Time of Arrival. It was popularized by the military and law enforcement, but people use it all the time today, especially in text messages, since we all like to implement short forms to text faster. To give you an example, I may be leaving my house to meet someone for lunch, and they ask me when I'll get there. I tell them, ETA 15 minutes. You may hear someone referred to as John Doe or Jane Doe. These are placeholder names given when a male or female has yet to be identified. Besides law enforcement, it's often used in the hospital when patients arrive by ambulance and no information has been gathered about their identity yet. Lay down the law is a common idiom that means to enforce rules strictly. Now people use it in many situations. For instance, the teacher is yelling at the students to sit down and do their assignment. You could say she is laying down the law. To be on someone's tail or to tail someone means the person is being followed. Today, you'll often hear people say, "He's on my tail," when someone is driving too close behind them. Or a sports announcer for a race will say, "Contestant number 2 is right on contestant number 1's tail." When you get a slap on the wrist, it's often a lighter punishment than what is deserved. Children often get slaps on the wrist because adults take pity on their innocence. They don't know any better. If little Tommy destroys the kitchen because he opened the bag of flour and spread it everywhere, he will get a slap on the wrist, even though it's a huge mess. It doesn't literally mean the punishment has to be a slap on the wrist, but it will be of a lighter nature, like a verbal scolding, ensuring he doesn't do it again. To protect and to serve. It is often shortened to serve and protect. Created by the Los Angeles Police Department, or LAPD, it has now been adopted by many other agencies. The catchphrase perfectly encapsulates the duties law enforcement must uphold. They must bravely protect the public by facing danger, and they should always serve the public's best interests. That's all for today, folks. But before we end this video, let's do a quick review. This is a handheld communicator with a silly name. That's right, it's a walkie-talkie. She used to call me on my cell phone. You should come to a full stop when an ambulance is passing you. It's disturbing to yell indoors. You should use your inside voice. You thief. It was mine long before you stole it. Thieves is the plural form of thief. There's a band of thieves roaming the city. You wouldn't steal a car. Pirating movies is a crime. The fuzz. The fuzz is another term for the police. Crooked cops. Crooked cops refers to cops who commit crimes under the table. Red-handed. Catching someone red-handed means they were discovered in the moment doing something they shouldn't be doing. ETA. ETA stands for estimated time of arrival. Lay down the law. Lay down the law means aggressively enforcing rules. A slap on the wrist. A slap on the wrist means receiving a lighter punishment than what may be deserved. That's it for today. If you made it this far, thanks for enjoying my content, and I hope it's helpful to you. It may be difficult to remember all these different terms and phrases, but with practice, you'll have them down in no time. You probably already have a couple of these memorized now, and will know what they mean next time you encounter them.